Same thing in the music business, you know, and entertainment and life period in the streets, but definitely in the music business where people are so silicone and plastic, you know, nothing is true and real. And, you know, Barry Judas is about, you know, this guy, The Game, you know, who is a protege of mine, you know, a student of mine, someone that, you know, studied, you know, my entire career and based his career, you know, on mine, you know, and he's gone on record to say this, you know, as recent as, you know, maybe a month or two ago, and consistently throughout my career has always, you know, made it known how much he admires me and you know, how much I influenced him. And, you know, I was just on his album maybe a couple months back. And, you know, to go from that to just, you know, talking reckless and just, you know, just saying anything, you know, it really, you know, it really reflects, you know, the CB4 culture. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. You know what I'm saying? Or these guys remind me of like MC Malibu. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you know, you can imagine anything and just say anything and you no longer have to qualify. Because, you know, it's one thing to say, you know what, man, I don't like what you said. You know, I don't agree with you. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know, I'm not feeling you no more, and we're gonna go our separate ways. But to just start, you know, trying to disparage and just you know, totally conflict and contradict everything that you've been saying for 12 years, you know, it's like, but when you listen to my Barry Judas, it's all fact. Everything I say is true. You know what I'm saying? You know, you pray to shine when you say your rhymes. You know, I am the great. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm what guys, you know, admired and aspired to be. And, you know, regardless of what, you can't change that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but it's also reflective of the disloyalty and, you know, the lack of, you know, integrity in today's world. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, no matter what you've done for people, no matter how much you've given them, you're only as good as the last thing that you did for them. And if you can't do nothing for them no more, then you're worthless. You know what I'm saying? Nobody respects history. Nobody respects, you know, the legacy of those that paved the way for them. You know what I'm saying? And this is a situation where you have, like, I call this kid my son because he's really an offspring of my culture, of, you know, a culture that I created, everything that I did before you even imagined to do it. And, you know, whether or not I got a hot record now, you know what I'm saying? Whether or not, you know, I'm in exile and I'm not in the United States of America, none of these things will change the fact. You know what I'm saying? That's the beautiful thing about, you know, working so hard and having such an impact on society and with your craft and with your art, because they can never take that away from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter that Michael Jordan, you know, wobbled off the court, you know, with the Wizards. We don't even remember that. You know what I'm saying? All we remember is you know, Game 6, you know, Utah Jazz, you know what I'm saying, and 6 rings, you know. All we remember is all of the extraordinary, you know, you know, unprecedented things that he did. And so Barry Judas is just really me, you know, documenting, if you will, you know, the influence that I've had on this character. I think Barry Judas is on a level of Ether, is on a level of Takeover, is on a level of, you know, Tupac, Hit 'Em Up. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I think it was a very honest, powerful record.
And is that from that theme of Judas, of betrayal?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, this kid has a album called Jesus Piece. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is what happened. You know, this you know, Judas was a very duplicitous, you know, fork-tongued guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's Jesus. I think he's Judas. You know, because Jesus was a rabbi. You know what I'm saying? Jesus was a rabbi, married with kids. You know, we don't want to get into all that. You know what I'm saying? But Judas was a traitor. You know what I'm saying? Judas was a self-serving traitor that was only concerned with, you know, preserving himself at all costs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, really, I don't gas. I'm like, you know what I mean? I've called my records trash. I've went on record to say that, you know, when I first came out of prison, the songs that I put out were subpar. You know what I mean? If we don't want to be as nice, we would say trash. You know what I mean? Because I lost my voice. You know, the guy that's talking to you now wasn't the same guy that came out of prison. It was a guy that was locked up for 10 years, and I didn't exercise my vocal cords, because if you spoke too loud, you get put in the box. So, you know what I mean? When I say a record is incredible, when I say I love my music, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I really love it, because, like, you know, when I look back and say, yo, that was trash, when I listen to these records, because I was under so much pressure to deliver, I couldn't come out with anything less than perfection, because people have such a high expectation of Shyne. And just in my heart of hearts, you can always get better. You can always go back and do something better. But Gangland is really, you know, we pulled it off. I feel like that's my ring. That's my third ring. And Messiah, you know, is going to be the same thing. And the Koheleth record, I recorded a few times, because my voice keeps getting better and better and better. So the final time was like me at optimum Shyne voice. You know what I'm saying? And it's an extraordinary record. You know, that's the record I perform for anybody, because everybody gets that record. And that's what I pride myself in being able to deliver to the masses and to the people. Is just something that's transcendental, something that has a wingspan that's endless, because that's what Marvin Gaye did, that's what James Brown did, that's what Michael Jackson did, that's what the Beatles did, that's what Elvis did, that's what the Rolling Stones did, that's what Pink Floyd did, that's what Leonard Cohen did. I could keep going. All of the great musicians, you know, Janis Joplin, you know, all of the great musicians, Barbra Streisand, you know, Aretha Franklin, they all have something in common, which is their music affects everybody the same way, irregardless of race, irregardless of class, irregardless of gender. It's just transcendental. And I think that's what my music is, man. You know what I'm saying? And Messiah is only going to be better. You know, I got a Basquiat record. You know, I got so many records, a House of Judah record. I got so many albums, bro. And everything gets better. Everything has a different feel. You know, I never understood how people could make so many records. Now I understand. You know, it really is a gift. And that's what Gangland is. Gangland is a celebration of the 12 years since my first album. And really, it really is a celebration, man, to be so inspired. I'm like a new artist. I'm like a kid that just got a record deal, that just came off the block. And I'm so excited I'm so excited for people to enjoy my ability, you know what I mean? Because I really got a gift. I really know how to put, you know, words together. I know how to pick beats. I know how to make great records, powerful records. Like, you could say what you want, but when you listen to Gangland, you impact it. You feel it. You know what I'm saying? You feel it. And that's a gift. Yeah, well, you know, honestly speaking, when I did the records for Matisyahu, I wasn't happy with the sound of the records on his album, you know, and I told him about it, I urged him about it, and he didn't fix the problem. I don't know whether it's due to time restraints, I don't know, you know, I don't really want to speculate, but whatever, he didn't fix it. So I wasn't happy about that. So I put the records out myself, you know, because it didn't capture, you know, my ability, you know, it didn't showcase me in supreme form, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm sure you listen to the one on his album and you don't feel the same. You don't feel the same way about my performance as you do on the one on my album. So, you know, but share it. Everything happens for a reason. Because if he'd have put it on with the loudness that I wanted, I wouldn't have went and did it over, and I wouldn't have got the master product that I ended up getting. I wouldn't have came up with that fantastic idea. And again, this is why I am who I am, because I came up with the cream idea. What? Through praying, you know, through rapping my tefillin, through going to the mikveh. You know what I mean? Doing what I do, being the scientist that I am. This is how I come up with these extraordinary thoughts to be like, yo, drop cream on the verses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because we couldn't find the beat. We couldn't find the beat. And then I was like, yo, put cream on the verses. You know what I mean? That's a good switch up because, you know, in hip hop, You know what I mean?
Oh,
A lot of the great producers have done that, where they went from one beat to the next beat in the same song.
Mhm.
So I really played on that multi-dimensional song making, and I just took him off the record, kept him on the chorus, but just took his verses off, and went in for 2 verses. You know what I'm saying? That is definitely one of my favorite flows too. Like it really showcases me at my best. Like, you know what I mean? Just going in beast mode. You know what I mean?